welcome back to the channel. So what we have now is General Musa has gotten invited by the United States of America Intelligence Unit to come and take a look at some AI powered robots. I mean, these are robots that the Nigerian government can use to fight the terrorism across the country. This was one of the things General Musa said in the just concluded African Union, Defense Summit. I mean, for me, there's nothing that will stop Nigeria from accepting this, to combat the Fulani terrorism that has been going on, that has held almost everybody hostage. But your guess is as good as mine. Some elements are already saying that the Nigerian government is not ready for such technology, that such technology can malfunction. I mean, you see, when people begin to bring excuses like this, then it is clear when we say that the Nigerian, insecurity is powered by element, particularly in the north, who wants to keep holding us hostage whenever there wants to be a shift, okay, in the political arena. We understand that the current administration and of course, any southern candidate who is in power at every point in time, whenever they want to shift, whenever they want to move for restructuring, resource control, and whatever the case is that will alter with the status quo, this is when the insecurity tends to what surge. In the last few days, we can see that there has been so many strikes in the north, and for that matter, we can see that Shegumi came out to start lamenting, crying that Nigeria is going into collaboration with Israel, that the Nigerian people, which is the north, not the Nigerian people, but I'm a Nigerian, I'm not against Nigeria, going in collaboration with Israel. But you see, when they speak, they tend to harness everybody to use a word that cover up everybody. They said that Nigerian collaborating with the Israelis is anti-North, is anti-Islam, but I've never seen Shegumi come out to say that the banditry, the insecurity in the north must be ended by all means. I've never seen him. He would rather stand up and, provide himself to negotiate with the bandits. Okay, so this issue, I believe Donald Trump has risen up. He has sensed that there are some underhand, some political, agenda behind it. And for me, inviting the General Musa to come over is a welcome idea. And for any reason, we must accept the deal because enough is enough. We cannot go to farms. Our parents cannot go to their farms peacefully. People cannot travel peacefully. People cannot sleep with their two eyes closed in the middle belt, to be specific. In the middle belt now, they are saying that the Nigerian army should leave, that the Nigerian people, that the Nigerian army seems to be complicit. When we begin to have distrust with our Nigerian army, then we all know that Nigeria is heading to its own end. Okay, that is what it means. Because why would those who feel to be attacked, who are supposed to see the Nigerian army as their last resort for hope, but all of a sudden are coming out to say that they do not want the Nigerian army, that the Nigerian army should leave them, that they want to protect themselves? When issues like this happen, we must understand that the Nigerian army has been politicized. And this is why, I have heard and I've seen and I've watched Christopher Musa. I've made so many programs in the past. I've said that the life of General Musa must be preserved. It must be jealously protected because just the way they are stealing our crude oil, okay, in South, now they want to ensure that the insecurity in the north will not let us see how they are stealing the gold. Because the gold in Zamfara does not belong to the north alone. Yes, if my own crude oil in the southeast, southwest can be a product for everybody, so the gold in the north is also for us. The insecurity today, on a daily basis, tons of gold, okay, that worth millions of dollars are being carted away to the Arabian market. And yet nobody has had the capacity to touchlight it. The last time I saw Dele Alake, when they inaugurated some, I think they call it forest guards, or should I say illegal mining task force. They were with guns. These guys were trained by the armies, and they were unleashed. That time they said that some people are being killed indiscriminately in the north. I am tired of the north always bringing up excuses, everything that will just stand as an impediment for us to try and have an headway in tackling the insecurity. It is, it is bewildering, it is troubling, and we must begin to understand that if we fail as a nation, if we fail to tackle the insecurity, we must embrace technology, tackling it, using all manners of AI powered technology is the way to go. The issue of Fulani bandits going into the southwest forest, the issue of Fulani bandits going into southeast forest, the issue of Fulani bandits going into Sambisa forest can ultimately be resolved before 2027. And I believe maybe Tinubu want to, he might want to have the North, on the edge. He might want to have them on their toes, because it has been proven that the North uses security to stabilize southern presidents. It has been what? It has been established. It has been established that when you come out, you call yourself a southern president that want to shift the paradigm, all of a sudden they will unleash insecurity on you, and by so doing, you are entrapped, you are cornered, you find yourself in a dilemma. You would do, if you say you want to declare a state of emergency, you will be forced not to do it, to reverse it. So these things, for me, we understand the pattern, and I so much appreciate that Donald Trump has come out to, openly call Nigerian army to come and, see the technology if they can afford it. Of course, I believe they can. I believe they can afford it, and hence, the Nigerian government should go for it, because, to be fair, we need insecurity. Let us quickly listen to a brief of what General Musa has to say about this.
We must therefore seize this opportunity to craft a new architecture of African-led security cooperation. As host nations, Nigeria is deeply committed to the ideals of regional stability and continental defense integration. Our armed forces have consistently contributed to peacekeeping operations, counterterrorism efforts, and humanitarian missions across Africa. We believe that true security is not achieved in isolation. It is built through shared intelligence, joint training, and coordinated action. Nigeria stands ready to work with our brothers and sisters across the continent to develop frameworks that are proactive, resilient, and responsive to the realities of our time. Distinguished colleagues, the battlefield is evolving. The threats of today are no longer confined to conventional warfare. They are digital, asymmetric, and often invisible. The enemy is within. As chiefs of defense staff and heads of our armed forces, we must lead the charge in modernizing our forces, investing in cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and indigenous military technology, without which it will be difficult for us to achieve our security. The challenges before us are great, but so too is our resolve. Let us rise above division and embrace unity. Let us build a continent where our people can live free from fear, and where our armed forces are symbols of stability, professionalism, and pride. Let us use this summit to explore how we can build a defense industrial base that is Africa in origin, Africa in design, and Africa in purpose. The Economic Committee of West African States, ECOWAS for short, the African Union's peace and security architecture, and other regional mechanisms have provided a vital foundation. But we must now build upon this foundation with greater resolve. We must be the architects of our own security and destiny. As we deliberate on strategy and policy, let us not forget the brave men and women who serve under our command. Many have paid the ultimate price in defense of our nations. Their courage and sacrifice must inspire us to build institutions that are not only strong, but just and accountable. Before I round down, with the permission of the special guest of honor, in order to honor those whom have paid the supreme price, both in the armed forces and as citizens of Africa, permit me to kindly request that we kindly stand up and observe a minute silence in honor of those that have paid this price. Thank you, sir. May the gentle souls of our brothers and sisters who have sacrificed themselves for the good and peace of Africa, may it rest in perfect peace. You may kindly take your seats, sir. At this juncture, let me extend our deepest appreciation to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his dynamic leadership and unwavering support to the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Your Excellency, you have always believed in the vision of a united Africa, and you have made today's gathering a reality. Let me also appreciate all our partners, regional institutions, especially ECOWAS, international allies, developmental agencies, and private sector collaborators whose unwavering support made this summit a reality. We will never forget the United Nations that have continued to provide a platform for peace all over the world. Your contributions, technical expertise, strategic collaboration, and other forms of support have been instrumental in bringing today's summit into fruition. We are grateful. To my fellow brothers and colleagues, the Chiefs of Defense Staff from across the African continent, I salute your commitment, your candor, and your courage. Your presence here in Abuja has sent a powerful message that Africa is ready to take ownership of its security narrative. Our deliberations must be frank, robust, and appreciative of our current geostrategic environment. We must therefore rise from the summit with that statement of unity and cooperation. Together, let us stand in defense of Africa. Together, let us secure our future.
Because of this security situation, so there are those who will say, maybe just like we see in some countries like Israel, that as a young person graduates, that you have to serve compulsorily in the military as part of your compulsory service to the nation. Just like
these are options. So that's what the NYC is supposed to do. And you know, the NYC had been watered down to 3 weeks. I think it's important that we're able to give every Nigerian one security awareness at whatever level. Self-defense is very important. On armed combat, swimming, driving, these are critical aspects for human endeavor. Those are things we should never take for granted because it prepares you for the future. The world we are in now is dangerous. We have individuals that don't mean people well. They kill for whatever reason, and it is not only in Nigeria. I'm sure you know, even abroad, you see somebody will take a weapon, go to a school, and open fire on everybody. So there's a lot of psychological things. People, because again...
So you encourage self-defense?
No, self-defense, everybody is supposed to be ready to protect himself as an individual. So if it means you should take judo lessons, take karate lessons, make sure that you are physically fit to be able to withstand this, and don't want to take things...
But how do you withstand bullets? Well, self-defense in the face of
you avoid where bullets will fly as much as possible, and I think those are the areas that we should. But I think that education on security is what we don't do.
All right, General, let's begin our conversation true and true. And I'd like to ask you some very tough questions tonight, beginning with a long-time promise of government, not only in this government, about the announcement of terrorism financiers in this country. Why is it difficult to name names of those who are financing terror in this country?
Well, I think the process is on. I mean, for this government, I can say that just last week, the Attorney General and other ones have gone to Giwa to go and check because it has to do with a lot of legal issues. And because, again, it has to do with international connections. Some of them have funds coming from outside. We cannot do anything from within.
So we know that we know some of these elements.
Yeah, like the ones...
The local ones.
The local ones, what they do normally is they try to employ a few individuals, provide motorcycles to them, something to do, and those ones are remitting funds daily into some accounts.
Really?
Yes, so it's been tracked. Those are issues.
So all the monies they get from the bandits go into...
So they try to circulate this money, and that's why it's important for us to be able to track those things. And the NFIU has been doing so much. There is so much going, apart from the intelligence setup, the financial links are also being followed true and true, and arrests have been made, and I can assure you that the Attorney General of Federation, the NSA are all working seriously to ensure that we address those issues.